Okay, what's up guys? This is Cloak and I'm back with another quick update on Vainglory Community Edition. If you need a quick reminder on what our roadmap looks like for Vainglory Community Edition, you can find that in the caption below, along with timestamps to all the individual topics I'm going to be covering today. I'm going to try to keep this video a little more concise than the last one, so let's jump right into it. The status of Stage 1B client, that's the next stage in our roadmap. It is currently being reviewed and sort of tested and submitted to platforms. One thing to keep in mind is that the duration between submission and approval for some of these app platforms is actually extending quite a bit due to issues going on in the world. So there's a little bit of ambiguity on exactly when we'll be able to get the Stage 1B client into your hands, but our hope is that it would be sometime within the next week or so. Quick reminder on what Stage 1B consists of. It is a cleaned up version of the client, so some of those legacy items that don't have any function anymore are going to be removed. Everything's just going to get streamlined a little bit and be much more contained. Number two, you'll be able to change your player handle to whatever you see fit, obviously, as appropriate with the various filters involved, but you'll be able to set your player handle, no longer needing to deal with these crazy temporary names that we've seen out there. And lastly, your elo is actually going to get reset and it will now begin to track your performance in the game. So that's pretty cool for a variety of reasons. You'll now be able to re-engage in competitive matches that match your skill and your evolving elo. It may have an impact on play times, given the fact that the consideration for your play pool is probably shortening. We're not just putting everyone in a pool together. So a couple things to keep in mind as we move into this next stage. Work has begun on Stage 1C of the client as well. 1C is our version that will include bringing parties back, but using a code-based system, as we've spoken about in previous videos. All right, let's jump to a couple questions that we've received from the community that I wanted to address here really quickly. We've had lots of questions on how exactly hosting servers will look. And I just want to quickly remind you that our current framework for how this will look, at least at the beginning, is for us to have a partner server host, someone that various organizations, communities, maybe even individuals can reach out to, license servers through them, and then have those various servers show up in a server browser in the client. So that is currently our approach. I know that there's been a lot of requests for a much more open way of personally hosting servers and things like that. It's not necessarily something we're ruling out entirely, but our initial phase for this process will include partnering with a specific server provider that you will then be able to reach out and connect with. A couple other quick things in that regard. We're working on following up to all the email submissions about wanting to host servers. It's taking us a little bit of time because of that issue I spoke about just previously. We want to ensure we have a good place to point you to and a little more specific information about exactly what this will look like once we have a partner provider in place. So thank you for your patience on some of that. We are going to be following up with you, and we do thank you for all of the interest that we have received. It's been really awesome. If you're an individual out there and you've just been interested in wanting to get involved or figure out how you can help and apply yourself, the Vainglory Discord is going to rapidly become a place that's very focused on what Vainglory of the future is going to look like. So you'll probably be able to find some really like-minded individuals there. And I've even seen some of these small groups starting to form. So yeah, if you jump into those communities, begin to ask how you can get involved with those groups directly, I think you'll very rapidly find individuals that you'll find like-mindedness with. Lastly, we've received a lot of questions about migrating your account from NA, say, to the current NetEase run Chinese version of Vainglory. And as we've mentioned in some of our previous Q&As, that isn't currently on our roadmap. It's not something that we have the manpower or bandwidth to support migrating accounts from one region to the next. So it isn't currently something that we're handling. Okay, final topic for this week's update is the official verified Vainglory Discord. I know in my last video, I talked about how we were going to be getting more involved in moderating conversation on that platform, cleaning it up, revising it, reorganizing it, and getting it focused on the future of Vainglory Community Edition. I'm happy to tell you that there's quite a bit that we've managed to accomplish in that regard. There's a total revamp of the channel structure in there. To prepare for this change. We've also added a support feature in #help to help contact the moderation team. And we've improved bot functionality, including the music bots, for those of you who enjoy the music bots. In the near future, a couple quick things. We're looking at simplifying and overhauling the rules in general for the server under the new kind of moderation team that we're putting in place. We are adding new moderators, and in fact, there is open applications available for moderators if you're interested in getting involved in that way. I'll put a link in the caption down below as well. And then further down the line, we're even looking at things like adding a karma system to allow, helpful individuals to choose their own role color, ways for you to find in-game servers to connect once the next stages of the game are in place. And then finally, just some guides to help with the usability of bots in the server. All right, that's it from me on this Vainglory Community Edition update. Thank you so much for hanging in there with us on this process. It's a joy to be a part of what the future of Vainglory will look like, and we're very excited. We remain excited. We thank you for all the enthusiasm and support that we've received. And yeah, I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Stay safe, and of course, never settle for the lesser evil.